In this world, people can harness the mana within themselves to control the elements. There are 6 elements: fire, water, wind, earth, yin, and yang. By channeling their mana into these elements, individuals can cast specialized spells. Let's start by explaining how magic works in this world. The amount of mana a person has determines the strength of their spells. However, even those with limited mana can become powerful by mastering control over what they have. Mana is closely tied to one's life force. If you deplete all your mana, you'll fall unconscious. Conversely, you can use your life force to cast spells. But this is highly inefficient and comes at the cost of your own vitality. Each person in this world has a gate within them, which acts as a converter, turning mana into magic. You channel your mana through the gate, and magic emerges on the other side. The type of magic that is produced depends on the person. If you attempt to cast a spell without enough mana, you risk damaging your gate. On the other hand, casting low-level spells with excess mana simply results in waste, making control essential. The type of magic a person can use depends on their affinity with a specific element. Affinity determines how easily someone can convert mana into a particular type of magic using their gate. For example, someone might easily convert mana into wind magic, but struggle with fire magic to the point where using it becomes inefficient. Some individuals can also use the mana in their environment as their own. These people are known as spirit arts users, and they cast spells by drawing on the mana of the spirits around them. Casting a spell typically involves an incantation, which helps the caster focus the flow of mana through their gate to achieve the desired effect. However, talented magic users can cast spells without incantations, much like in Mushoku Tensei. Each spell can have up to 3 variants. For example, the spell Goa has 3 stronger versions: El-Goa, Ul-Goa, and Al-Goa, each increasing in power. Elements can also be combined to create new spells, though this is a rare ability, possessed by only a handful of characters. We'll begin with the wind element. The most famous wind spell is Fura, which has 3 variants. Ram can use all the variants of the Fura spell. However, it's important to note that while Ram can use the powerful All Fura, it's not optimized, meaning she can't use it repeatedly. Fura. The user shoots wind slashes at high speed, capable of cutting through wood, stone, and flesh. El Fura. A more powerful variant where the user unleashes a blade of wind at maximum velocity, making it nearly impossible to counter. Ul Fura. The user transforms the air around them into blades of wind, hurling them toward enemies. All Fura, the strongest variant where the user unleashes a devastating torrent of wind blades that destroy everything in their path. The wind blades are said to have the force of a gigantic dragon and the sharpness of a treasured sword. Victims of this spell are often shredded to the point where not even a pool of blood remains. Crush, on the other hand, can use a specialized spell unique to her. She can unleash a sword strike that cuts anything within her range of vision with an invisible blade. Another character who can use the Fura spell is Archie, an elf from the elf village, who is destined to be the next guardian of Hellier Forest. Wind magic has relatively few users. Now let's move on to the water element. The most famous spell in this category is Huma. Emilia, a candidate for the royal selection, can use all 3 variants of the Huma spell. Other notable users include Lai, a Sin archbishop with the Gluttony Witch factor, and Archie, who can use both Fura and Huma spells. Ren is another skilled user who can wield all variants of the Huma spell. Huma creates a shining water barrier that blocks projectiles and magic. However, stronger magic can break through and harm the caster. El Huma forms and shoots multitudes of ice spears from the hands, which pierce through flesh and vanish afterward. Water is the source of all life, so healing magic naturally comes from this element. Ferris, Ren, and Garfield are all shown to use healing magic, with Garfield using it when attacked by Roswell. One of the most powerful water element spells is the Sacrament of the Immortal King. This ancient spell can reanimate corpses to serve the caster, though its effectiveness depends entirely on the user's skill. Simply being able to cast this spell is a tremendous feat. Next, we'll talk about the fire element. This element involves controlling temperature, so ice magic also falls under this category. The most famous spell here is Gawa, along with its variants. Roswell can use all variants of the Gawa spell. Gawa, the user manifests a blaze of fire to incinerate their foes. El Gawa, fire rains down on an opponent. Or Gawa, fires a large number of powerful fire bullets that scatter flames upon impact. Gawa unleashes a massive fireball that scorches everything in its path. The caster's skill determines the fireball's size and heat. Sphinx is also shown to use all types of fire magic, as does Echidna, the Witch of Greed. Now let's move to Earth Magic. The most famous spell in this category is Dana. All can use Dona and its first variant, Eldana. Betelgeuse is shown to use Uldona. Otto can use all variants of the spell. Next is Yin Magic. The first spell Subaru learns in the series is Shamak. The other variants of the spell are El Shamak, Ul Shamak, and Al Shamak. Puck can use the basic Shamak spell, while Beatrice can use all variants. This spell is a powerful space-time magic. Shamak causes the target to lose their sense of location while still feeling the ground and their body. All Shamak, capable of sending the target to a different dimension from which it is nearly impossible to return. To date, only Beatrice has been shown to use this spell. Beatrice can also use Dr. Crossing, Minya, and its variants. Minya creates stakes of crystallized mana covered in light purple flames. El Minya, similar to Minya, but with increased firepower. Ul Minya creates a purple ring of light around the target that binds and spreads across their body. Yin Magic also includes the Murak spell, which reduces the effects of gravity, and Vita, which amplifies gravity. El Vita is a more powerful version of Vita. Finally, we have Yang Magic with the Jewald spell and its variants. El Jewald, and Al Jewald. Echidna and Sphinx can use all these spells, while Roswell can use the base form of Jewald. Talented individuals have also discovered ways to combine different elements to create new spells. For example, Roswell's flying spell combines Yang, Wind, and Earth magic. Sphinx can also use this spell. Roswell can also cast a weather, changing spell that combines wind, water, and fire magic. Julius, on the other hand, has developed 3 more spells that combine all the elements